Hello, my people, my fans, and today is what, October 3rd, 2019, and today I want to talk a little bit about being consistent no matter what. And this is one of the things that I think most people struggle with. I know that I struggle with it. I have a lot of irons in the fire. I got a lot of things going on. And one of the things that I promised myself I'm going to start dedicating my time to is getting on YouTube and getting my videos up on YouTube, and being consistent with Instagram and YouTube. So in this particular video, I want to discuss the importance of consistency. It is probably at least 10 o'clock, and even though I have 3 subscribers, I think, on my YouTube channel at this moment, got over 3,000, I believe, on Instagram, I'm still going to put up the content, make my videos, and keep this as a memoir, because I know that one day I will have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000 viewers at some point. Consistency, it's so important, especially when you're putting up content that you don't realize that the words that you're putting out there and the things that you're saying are having an influence on other people, and that people are watching. It always surprises me whenever I say something or do something that happened, let's say months and months ago, that I come across somebody that said, hey, I watched this video that you posted up. I saw an Instagram story that you posted up. It really had an effect on me. I really took it to heart. And, whether it's in their personal life or in their professional life, you don't really understand through social media how your words can really have an impact, because you don't always know who's watching, and you don't get that feedback right away. But the more I do these videos, I'm gonna sit back. Isn't that a nice picture? I love that picture. That's another picture Rebecca took. That's us. It's over here. That's a little picture of her. It's another picture of us. Got distracted for a minute. By the way, Rebecca's channel is awesome, and she's consistent. Check her out at RVNFIT, RVNFit. But going back, you don't really get an idea of how you affect people, and the power that you have with people, and the power that your stories have. Because there was a time in my life, if you read the book Kick-Ass Dad, Uber Driver to Millionaire, there was a time where in my life 6 years ago where you feel really small and insignificant, and that the work that you're doing isn't having any sort of impact on people's lives. And I'll give you one example. When I was going through my divorce, my very sad divorce, and this, with Enzo, and my son was very young, and it was a scary time. I also lost my job, and I wasn't sure where the cards were going to fall. I didn't know what was in the future for me. I didn't know what was going to happen with Enzo, most importantly. And as I talk about the process of going through that, Rebecca also came into my life and was living away. So I took a nice little gig. I downloaded the Uber driver app and started driving for Uber, or was it Lyft? And it doesn't matter. It was either or. I'm proud to say that I am still, because I keep the app on my phone, one of the highest rated Uber drivers that you could get. I think my rating is around a 4.97. I don't know if that statistic is factual, that I'm one of the highest rated, but I do know that now when I'm a passenger, I'm always looking at people's rankings, and I'm like, I got you beat. 4.91, 4.93, 4.96. You're close, but you're not And I honestly, I don't think I've ever seen anyone higher than a 4.97. And another thing that um, about that statistic is that you Uber, like any other job, right? The first ride, had the water bottles in there. The car was, sparkling clean, and and I would always, and I still did, get out of the car and open the doors for the ladies, as long as I wasn't like in a downtown or in a rush. Um, but Uber taught me a lot of amazing lessons being a driver. And one of the things that it taught me is that I love working with people and I love talking to people, and I'm genuinely interested in people. And it's amazing what strangers will exchange in a 10, 15, 20-minute car ride, and the things that you can learn about people. And if you have been to any of my parties, events over the last few years, you show up, a lot of my good friends are people that were my passengers. Um, and it's a great, just having them there gives me an amazing perspective on where I was and where I am today. And even though times were tough for me, good people were out there and were coming into my life because of Uber. And I'm very appreciative of that. But you don't realize what impact you have on people with the words that you say. This particular video is being inspired by my friend Christine. You can find her at, I think it's at Polar Bear Kitchen. And she has a smoothie business and a big dream for it. And I hadn't seen her in quite some time, and I randomly saw her today. And she reminded me of a post that I put up a few weeks ago. And she said that she really enjoyed it, and they were really positive and uplifting, and that I need to keep making more. So here I am in front of the camera, making this YouTube video, talking about consistency. And consistency, especially if you're making positive and uplifting content, people are watching. Right now I got 3 YouTube subscribers. I don't know. I know one is Rebecca. Who are the other 2? I am not sure. I gotta Google how to look who my YouTube subscribers are, and I guess I should directly message them and tell them how grateful I am. But just so that I don't sound like a broken record on this, maybe about a year ago or a little longer now, I was working out at the gym. I was having one of those days. I wasn't feeling, my strength was low. I was on the calf machine, which is one of these great machines that you sit down and you push your feet, and I'm sure I was texting. By the way, here's a little joke I used at the gym. This is a great gym joke. You guys can steal it, but you ever see somebody tying up a machine and they're on their phone? Usually, back in the day, we would say something like, hey man, how many sets do you have left? Nowadays, my joke, it's a good one. Here you go. Ready? I like to say to people, hey man, how many texts you got left? Do you like that one? Leave me a comment below if you like that joke. You can have that joke. How many texts do you have left? It's funny when they don't hear me too clearly either. They'll say, oh, I just got like 1 or 2 left. And I'm like, all right, well, when you're done saying, hey, what you want from pick up at the grocery store or whatever, just let me know. That can I work in? But anyway, one day, I'm sure I had like 1 or 2 texts of my own left. This guy approached me and he said to me, hey, did you used to be like an Uber driver or Lyft driver? And I said, yeah. And he said, one day you picked me up, I was your passenger. I looked at him and I didn't recognize him. I've done over 5,000 trips in my Uber career. That's 5,000 trips. Even if that, most trips are not just one person. You got 2 or 3 or 4 people in your car. I've come across a lot of people. And I said, no, man, I'm sorry. I don't remember you. And he said, well, that's all right. I remember you. And he said, you he picked me up this particular day, and I was really strung out on drugs, and I'd been partying all night, and I was depressed, and we started talking, and I was, not jogging my memory at all. And he said, well, look, I just want to let you know that, I got sober shortly after then, and I smiled real big, and he goes, yeah, I stopped doing drugs, and then he said, it had nothing to do with you specifically, but he said, I always remembered our conversation in the car, and it bugged me because you said a lot of good things to me, and just talked to me about potential, and that I could be a better person. Other things in my life happened that led me down that path, but he said, I've been in a lot of Uber cars and Lyfts. Most of the time the drivers don't talk, and he was just reminding me that how kind I was and how appreciative he was of that conversation, and it had an impact on him. When I look in my YouTube app, my Uber app, I gotta have at least, 50, 60, 70 comments. And some of these comments are really, really long. And it's amazing how a 10 or 15 or 20-minute engagement with somebody could have such an impact on them. I mean, really, most of the time, like, you get the little prompt and you give somebody, their star ranking, 4 or 5 stars, that's a step. But people actually took the time to write long comments. And I want to say thank you to those people, because during those times, I was feeling really kind of low, I wasn't feeling at my best. And when these comments started to come in and I started to develop these relationships, and if you read the book, you'll see that these relationships also launched my real estate business. These comments were really uplifting, and really started adding to my self-worth and building my confidence. And I started to recognize that, no, I'm not a loser. I'm not a piece of shit. I'm just like everybody else. People have ups and downs. And as my business started to grow from my car, right, the Uber driver, realtor, real estate investor, my coaching job, you start mentoring people in your car in 10, 15, 20 minutes, and you realize, like, fuck, I'm doing TED Talks. Like, I'm a natural, right? I'm coaching for pennies on the mile. And I started to realize that I had these skill sets that I wasn't aware of, and I started to fine-tune these skill sets right in my car. I started getting good at understanding people and working with people and loving people, because I'm a people person, all because of Ubering and picking up random strangers in my car and only getting a short while to make an impression on them and build rapport. And some of these rapports, like, they've turned into long-lasting relationships. I've got friends in my life right now that were my passengers, and they're close friends, good friends. And I've got people whose lives I've impacted in some capacity that I'm not even aware of. And I've got these comments on my app that's from folks that feel that, I gave them something. And unfortunately, Uber doesn't let you respond. But I'll put it right here, and I'll put it out there all the time. Thank you to each and every one of you. And one day I'll make a video of all these comments, because some of these really bring me to tears, especially during those days. Consistent. Be consistent with your work, even though you feel that nobody might be paying attention, that, you got 3 subscribers, that you're not getting, the response that you think you like, because one day you're going to get the right response. And that's really what's going to make the biggest difference, getting the right response. I make these videos today. Every time I make a video, I get more views. And one day, I'm going to get the right view. The right people are going to start watching, and those numbers are going to start to scale. And I'm going to be able to have an impact on more people. But you got to be consistent in your work. Be consistent. All right. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. hit me with a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and I'll hit you back. Good night.